The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Yesterday, it was announced that after 11 seasons, The Walking Dead, which has been on life support for the past several years, the plug is finally going to be pulled from it. Do you care? I'm sure some of you do. And it was announced today that Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, will be reappearing in Scream 5. Do you care? I'm sure some of you do. Personally, I don't. But what I do care about is that on October 5th of this year, I Spit on Your Grave box set will be coming out, and it will have the original I Spit on Your Grave, the remake with its two sequels, that awesome sequel to the original, and it's also going to have Growing Up with I Spit on Your Grave. And that is going to be coming out later this year, and whether or not I'm a part of it, I don't know. We'll soon find out. And I think something that we can all agree on is that we're here to entertain and enlighten you people another week. So welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 424 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, also at the Lair of the Gods, and also between two greasy stranglers at Casa de Zero, apparently. What the fuck?
Wow. What?
Some kind of disco cutie over there, MZ.
I'm the hootie tootie with their disco cutie. Believe that.
Well, I guess it's better than being between a picture of Rufus and Ronaldo. So, could be worse.
Well, who knows? That'll help. Maybe that'll show up next week.
No. Kind of like in that movie that we did on our first ever Monster Piece Theater. We did Host. Know how that one girl had the video of her looping in the background of her coming in? MZ's gonna do that of his balls. Please no.
Trick. I am.
Trick. Yeah.
I didn't think about it before, but now you just laid the egg, man, and I'm gonna do it next week.
I laid the egg?
You laid the egg.
So
I'm gonna hatch it.
So MZ, you mentioned I Spit in Your Grave in the intro. Is that so? You in the box set that's coming out? That was the film that you might be featured in, right? The documentary.
The documentary, yeah, I might be. That was like 10 years ago, or like, well, no. It was maybe
6 years, I think.
6 or 7 years ago, yeah.
Because you did it.
Because I remember it was over at your old place.
Yeah.
The old place before your old place, and that was. I remember that we were talking about having the director on as a guest. He was more than he was agreed to. So I sincerely doubt he remembers it, but. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to make it on the DVD. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's totally up in the air.
Yeah, we'll see. I do remember that, though. We got to set up at the old 2 studios ago. So, yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, probably 7 or 8 years ago, or rather 6 or 7 years ago, I think. So, yeah, that's fun. Yeah. That's exciting.
It was a long time ago.
It'll be fun to see if you are featured in that. And also, I guess you brought it up in the intro, Walking Dead. Does anyone give a fuck?
Oh, it's ending.
Raven Shadow, what?
Well, I do. I mean, yeah, I heard it's ending today. I mean, I'm still behind on the books, even though it's ended. And actually, the books are now like really the show is kind of where I left off in the comics. So I want to finish the comic before I finish the show. And it's still good. Listen, I mean, people can, whatever, you like it or not, whatever the fuck. Its longevity is overall, there's more good than bad in it. And I think the show actually got better with the departure of Rick. There's definitely a lot of characters.
What was that? There's more. You cut out for a second. You said something about more characters.
I'm getting audio.
You're getting audio in your headphones?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah, I was
okay.
hearing some. I
All right.
was too.
All right. Well, it wasn't coming through, so I killed it. Go ahead.
And the bit.
Well, I mean, you're only speculating as far as the show goes because you haven't finished it. For all you know, it turns to crap after you know, from the point where you stopped.
Yeah, true.
No, because I mean, I'm aware of action figures and poster art and covers. So there are characters that bring it into the show.
It doesn't mean the show is good, though. You're only speculating.
Fucking Aries.
What?
You know, I really enjoyed you on the Monster P0 episode because you weren't talking.
Wow.
But no. What I'm saying is that I have watched it, and it's. I mean, I stopped right before the pandemic, just because I'm good with Apocalypse right now. But I have been entertaining it. I held back because I want to finish the comic first.
How long do you have to go?
I probably have 5 trades, which is unheard of for me. Read because they're not like long reads; they're really pretty quick. But yeah, it's whatever the fuck, fine, fuck, walk.
Yeah,
Fuck
there
you,
you go.
Kurt.
There you
Well,
go.
you got more. Well, it does. It's ending on its 11th season, which is next season. So you got plenty of time.
You got plenty of time. You hear that?
I don't. No, I do want to finish the comic before I finish the show. And yeah, could it be done? Yeah, that's it's probably time.
Well, I mean, how long do you want it to go? 20 seasons? That you want to beat The Simpsons?
No, I don't want it to be. It's like all the fucking hyperbole before, like fuck you. You think shows only last 6 years? That's a fucking deep dive into the old Castle Wolfenstein studio.
Yeah, it was.
Fucking you're fucking dumb because you say shows last 6 years. Well, yeah, they kind of do. But whatever, man.
Whatever, man. Yeah.
For you, what?
Is that your superhero name? Whatever, man.
Whatever, man. I said whatever.
Look up.
Will someone save my baby?
It's a bird.
Whatever,
it's a plane.
man.
It's whatever, man.
The comical misadventures of whatever man. Will you save my baby? He's drowning. Whatever, man.
Has that never been done before? Like, someone had to have done whatever, man, right?
I don't think as a superhero.
Well, there you go, Ram Chow. You wanted to be at San Diego Comic-Con before your, whatever age.
Whatever.
That's the one that's going to do it for you.
Yeah, that was for
forget all that highbrow stuff. You need whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever, man.
I'm flying, man. No, you're not. You're
Was
still on the
it
ground.
going to star
Really?
Tommy Chong?
I know, really. Like,
I once worked with a guy, and he was a big-time pot smoker, and he looked like Cheech, but he sounded like Chong. I swear to God, it was amazing. Working with that guy was a trip.
Bad news, Raven Shadow. Someone already came up with whatever, man.
oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
Who? Where is he?
whatever, man.
Can you take? Can you beat him up, Aries? That's my question.
Looking at the images of Whatever Man, I definitely can take Whatever Man.
Is it trademarked? That's the big question.
Says images subject to copyright.
Raven Chow, just move to Turkey. You can do whatever the fuck you want there.
That's true. Yeah.
You could have a team up with Whatever Man and Superman.
What if we trade him .com for whateverman.com?
What if you could do the Wish.com version of Whatever Man?
What, like make a Wish Foundation?
Yeah, there you go.
No, you ever heard of Wish.com?
No, Wish.com.
Is it like Christmas presents? I don't know.
Wish.com. Wish.com is a site where you can get. Listen to me. Wish.com is a place where you get bad stuff for cheap prices. Primarily, the stuff comes out of China, and it's cheaply made, bad stuff. But yet, some people, people seem to order from that place all the time, from that site all the time. It's really actually quite popular for probably all the worst reasons imaginable. But yeah, I mean, you could be like the Wish.com version of Whatever Man.
So,
I could see that.
That doesn't even sound appealing. Why would I buy shitty shit online?
Someone is, because there's all over the place.
But listen,
Yeah,
if I
someone's
had
buying it.
wishes, none of those three would be shitty shit online.
Well, you know how the dollar store keeps in business? It's the same reason Wish stays in business.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
shit stuff for a shit amount of money.
Just look up
Yeah.
look up Wish.com fails.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's,
You can get like Pledge for $1. You can get Fabuloso, the all-purpose anywhere cleaner. That's fun. You can get paper towels. If you're having a bridge
That's
week,
fun.
drop more off. You can do that. I mean, that's fine. Pick up dollar store.
Let me tell you something. Okay. I ordered from Wish.com one time.
oh boy.
I really did. I didn't know much about it, but I went into it anyway. I figured, okay, they're selling stuff. It's cheap. So even if I sign up, really, what have I got to lose? Because I never bought anything. But if you sign up, you get a free gift. And they give you a list of things that you could choose to be your free gift. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that this stuff was like from China, whatever. I figured it was like, liquidation sale of merchandise, things like that. Companies going out of business and this stuff.
Built 19.
And so I purchased, I selected as my free gift a black ring, and they put, a ring that you wear on your finger. Now, I'm not a jewelry guy, and I figure, what have I got to lose? It's worth nothing.
You're gonna lose your finger.
Well, they say, okay, now which kind of ring do you want? I said, okay, black. I check the box, a black ring, and I also put in my size. I didn't know the size of my finger, so I put in like size 10 and a half or a size 11 because I got really chubby fingers. I've always had fat fingers.
You got big ham hands.
Well, anyway, so
Raven Shadow has banana fingers. You got chubby fingers.
and so, yeah, that's true. So I put my name in for it, and I figure, okay, what the hell? If it's any good, I might wear it. If not, I'll throw it out. I didn't lose anything. So, like about maybe 4 weeks passed, I forgot all about it. And I get an envelope in the mail, and I didn't know what it was. So I open it up, and I look inside, and I say, oh, it's the ring that I got from Wish.com. And I take it out of the little baggie, and the ring was about maybe the size of a goddamn like Fruit Loop. It was like the size of a goddamn Fruit Loop. It was so tiny. It was like this, okay? And I'm like, I can't wear this goddamn thing. I couldn't even put it on my pinky finger. It was so small. So I just chucked it out and said, the hell with it. Get rid of Wish, and that was the end of it.
Wow. Great story. At least you didn't lose a finger, I guess.
Well, what the hell?
Good story.
What the hell do you want from me? Like,
You get a black ring, end up with gangrene.
hey, at least it was a story. Hey, at least it was a story. What did you get? Whatever, man.
I don't know if you can call that a story
even
more as
go
just a
through
bunch of words being strung together.
What? Whatever, man.
No,
your
mine
wish
was
story.
Your story.
Oh, bullshit. Mine was a story. Mine was a story. Don't.
You were like writing an essay in high school. Where you
Yeah.
just keep on typing because you had to fill the word quota.
Very, 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 very.
No,
bad.
no. Yeah. Okay.
No,
yeah,
no,
that's exactly
no,
what.
no.
Damn.
That's what MZ
Yeah, that's
did.
exactly what I did.
That's
right.
what MZ did to hit his word quota when he wrote that one article for Whorehound. I like Zombie very,
And that's
very,
why
very, very,
I
very.
like Lucio Fulci very, 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 very much.
Exactly.
I'm like son. What is his name on summer school?
What? Yeah. From summer school. You're cutting out by the way,
Yeah.
MZ. You got to figure out your internet,
Am
man.
I? Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do right now. It's just you're at the mercy of
I
your
hate
internet.
it.
Unless somebody's streaming in your house, I think there's nothing you can do.
I don't know.
Well, you gotta fucking
if
lay
someone
the
is
law down, man.
streaming, I sure. Oh yeah, right.
You got your fucking.
I lay the law down on anybody in this place, and I get a fucking Louisville Slugger across my head, and that's if I'm lucky.
Wow. I love Harry's smirk.
I'm just thinking, like I was going to say, hand her the headphones. I'll talk to her for you.
Yeah,
No, that
he'll
won't
never
work.
he'll never do the show ever again after that.
Yeah. You'll find me on the side of a milk carton.
And he'll be single.
Finally. Dr. Chris is hanging out. He says Wish.com is such crap, such garbage. He says, ugh, what the fuck, Michael Raven
Yeah.
Shadow? What are you buying online? Can you get cigarettes on Wish? Oh, he's not even listening. Look at that. Jesus Christ.
Get cigarettes on Wish.com.
Dr.
God.
Chris has some comments, and Raven Shadow doesn't even fucking pay attention.
No, I hear you. I hear Johnny. I am so in sync with you right now. It's not even. At the other two. I heard talking about Dr. Chris with the Wish is garbage, and he said, "Can you get cigarettes on Wish?" I'm like, I don't even know what a fucking Wish is, except I fucking don't. They don't come true. Okay.
What would Wish.com cigarettes look like? MZ. Oh, he probably can't.
Something tells me that they would be very. Something tells me that they would be very, very brown.
They'd be
They
candy.
would be
They'd be
different
They'd be
colors.
candy cigarettes.
You gotta shop around. This is your body. I mean, you
Shop
gotta
around.
get the good stuff. Do you want, hamburger or filet mignon? Earmuffs, Johnny. Do you want ale or do you want, I don't know. What's wheat? I don't know what you can eat. But no, I mean, I don't know what that is. I go to the store, dude. I have a shopping agenda. I pull in. I take my wallet out of my backpack. I count
There we go.
a couple of 20s. And I go, okay, I'm going to get this with that. And I come
I'm
out and I
gonna
go
get
home.
this with that.
Yeah. I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that.
When you walk up to the counter and you put all your purchases in front of the register, do you look at the cashier and go, "How many 20s is this?"
He's like, I got $5 and I
It'll
got $10.
be like he's on
I got time for change.
Price is Right.
Where
It's
I
like
go,
he's on the Price is Right or something.
adult. No, but it's funny though. Perhaps I'm sending the wrong message because I'll go into the package store. Maybe I'm just getting like a 30 rack and a 12 rack, and like, oh, you need cigarettes? Or like, how many? I'm like, 1, 2. They know me over there, so
It'd be like $20 worth.
yeah, no, it's 2, sir.
Not even.
That's two.
He open one of the packs up and take a few out for the $20.
Dr. Chris says Wish.com be as bad as those dollar store pregnancy tests.
Funny, yeah. Don't buy that, condoms, or drug tests.
Or drug tests.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who has ever purchased a pregnancy test from dollar store. I don't know a single person. You do? I'm not surprised.
Do you know anyone that's bought a pregnancy test?
Yes.
I didn't ask you.
Most people don't run around screaming, I bought a pregnancy test, let alone I bought a dollar store pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not like people who fucking show pictures of an egg salad sandwich. It's like, oh, I'm at the diner, egg salad sandwich. It's like, oh, pregnancy test. You know, hey, dodge the bullet. They should do that. You know what? I'm fucking sick of your fucking egg salad sandwiches post. I'm glad that you do that and you eat it, but I'm concerned about your cholesterol.
Who does
I
that?
posted egg salad sandwiches.
Yeah, who does that?
Who? All right, I've never posted pictures of food, but everyone on this channel.
I've never not. So you have?
I don't know what that means. But we all know, and Dr. Chris too knows somebody that posted pictures of their food, right? Their hamburger, their fucking mozzarella sticks, or their cordon bleu, whatever the fuck they get.
Cordon bleu?
Yeah, chicken cordon bleu. That's good. That's fucking chicken wrapped in ham with cheese on top. What the fuck, Johnny? You're missing out, dog. Sorry. But no, I think instead of seeing pictures of food, I'd rather see pictures of people dodging bullets.
You know what?
Hey,
I
don't get married.
Actually, I think you with an Instagram of you posting your meals would be the funniest fucking feed ever. You would have like
it would get very boring very quickly. Every day, him with a Lunchable.
Well, yeah, no, it'd be a post of a Lunchable. The next day, it would be like a chicken nugs,
Uncrustable,
chicken nugs, Uncrustables, French bread pizza, Elio's pizza.
He has the
Mama
he has
Celeste
the taste palette. He has the taste buds of an 11-year-old.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. You know, but that'd be fun. I'm got some leftovers from my parents' cookout, so I've been eating some meat sandwiches. I put some cheese
on
the
that. Cookout. What on the weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. Okay.
We should get that going. That would be like you would have so many followers.
Really? In Tupperware. It makes things
Tupperware, like with like a scrunched up like paper towel next to it. You know, on a paper plate. It's fucking gold. Because we know you use paper plates for everything.
Listen, not for everything. No.
Do you ever break out the fancy china?
No, we do. When we're having like grown up meals, Mary and I we'll bust that out. But
Wait. What's the grown up meal?
No,
yeah, I can't wait to
an actual peanut butter and jelly sandwich that he makes instead of buying
takeout.
Is it
takeout?
No. But if it's like meat, usually if it's
don't speak vaguely. What was the last grown-up meal the two of you sat down and ate off of legitimate plates in your house?
We had chicken with like a glazed thing with like green beans and mashed potatoes.
And you cooked that.
I helped Mary cook it.
Wait. This is the guy that can't even make scrambled eggs.
It's fucking a lot of chemical compositions involved there. It's timing. It's like fucking alchemy. That's weird. How do you make a white egg yellow fucking fluffy cloud? That's fucking weird.
How do eggs work?
I skipped that day.
How do the yolks get in those eggs?
Eat a hard boil, soft boil. I don't even fucking know.
How does the egg form around the yolk?
Dr. Chris says we should have posted that food from last year after Scaricon when we went to Fridays and how bad it was. That was the one where, remember, Derek Rook cut his fucking lip.
That was the Fridays from hell.
Yeah.
That was the Friday.
That was the absolute worst. The absolute worst night
I thought
ever.
Derek was gonna fucking throw fucking choke slams.
Rook is too even tempered for that. Me, on the other hand, I was going to go batshit.
Yeah, Rook was
All
great.
I did was order, like, and it took an hour. The hell is that shit? Oh,
jeez.
Corny says all of Raven Shadow's Instagram pictures will be out of focus.
What's that mean?
Do you know?
It means you don't know how to work an autofocus.
Do you know how to take a picture,
What?
Raven Shadow?
I do, yeah. I'm like fucking Peter Parker.
And Evil Corny says Raven Shadow gave me a paper plate to cook grits on. Is that true?
I don't remember. Where do we get grits, Corny? Come on now. This is New England, sir. No, but no, we're just making fucking, we're getting fucked up, you know, and throw a fucking, you know, a quesadilla on whatever the fuck. Why the dishes?
Quesadilla?
Yeah.
What is a quesadilla?
He's talking grits.
But yeah, no, but yeah, we did. You know what? I think you know what? I think I did have grits. Some microwavable. It's microwavable grits, Corny. Okay. But
No way. Someone from Alabama ate
Yeah.
microwavable grits.
I had some. Did I have that? Oh, is that what I had, Corny? Much like when I was down in New Orleans and I thought like, oh man, this breakfast buffet has potatoes. No, grits. That was a bad day.
You don't like grits?
I don't know.
I don't know. I like that. I like that.
Not when you think they're potatoes.
I don't know.
What
It's
is
like
what
going-
is a grit, anyways?
And Corny, all you, brother.
I believe it is. I believe it is potatoes,
Yeah.
just cooked in a specific way.
But it's like potatoes with seeds, right?
Oh wait, hold on. Grits is a porridge made from boiled cornmeal. Hominy grits are a type of grits made from hominy, corn that has been treated with an alkali in a process called nixtamalization, with the pericarp removed. Grits are often served with other flavors as a breakfast dish. There you go. Cornmeal, boiled cornmeal.
Yeah, it kind of looks like runny oatmeal.
It sounds like some weird like Alan Moore, Grant Morrison black magic. Like Dr. Fate would have to like do an incantation to get that. That's weird. Adam Strange.
Oh man. So let me get to what we're doing this week, and we're going to be talking about a flick called Sputnik, a Russian sci-fi horror flick. We'll be talking about that. Interested to get everyone's take on that. And then, you know, if we get, I don't think we actually have any voice messages yet. If we get voice messages, we will certainly play those. We do have a comment on Patreon, though. Let me go and try to pull that up. But speaking of Patreon, this past Saturday we did our very first ever Monster Piece Theater movie club. And we had a good turnout, and we had a lot of fucking fun. We talked about the film Host, which is streaming on Shudder. Less than an hour watch. Was that a breezy enough watch for you, Raven Shadow?
Oh man, it was nice. That was nice.
You like 56 minutes for a flick? Is that your ideal runtime?
That could be. I mean, maybe if you get a little, if you're nasty, you could do like 65. 65.
This isn't Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, I know. I just asked you a question.
I'm giving you the answer. Don't ask the questions if you're scared of the answers.
That wasn't really an answer.
What I
It was
said.
a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question. What are you, a Republican? It should be very easy to answer.
I'm the target
It should
Democrat.
be very easy to answer. Yes or no. It doesn't require your fucking life story.
Just telling you a tale.
But we did have a good discussion, and I thought it went super well, and I was really happy with everyone's contributions. So if you guys were not able to make the last one, we'll make sure the next time we do this, we'll leave enough advance notice so that we can get some other people involved. We just wanted to kind of kick things off, get it rolling, kind of work out the format, and I had a lot of fun. Yeah, Raven Shadow.
Johnny, can I say I had an absolute fucking blast doing
Did you?
that, man. I fucking did, man. It you know, Labor Day weekend passed, and that was the kickoff to a pretty great weekend. It was so dope. Not only to do, you know, essentially we did a extra show, but to actually hang out with, EF Contentment, first time Mike, Carlito, fucking,
You're forgetting someone very near and dear to you.
Arian was in the house, fucking T-Dog was leaving fucking messages in the back in the chat. Everyone was funny. Everyone fucking had their moment. It was like fucking watching Endgame. We were like, oh, everyone had their moment to shine, and it was so fun. And,
and it was
really
cool
fun.
because, this is our first time actually talking in a real time to some of these people. So that I thought was a really great thing that we've
Yeah, I
never had
think
the
it-
opportunity to do.
Yeah, this thing went off pretty much without a hitch. Really, it went off a lot smoother and a lot better than I thought. We weren't talking over each other or anything like that. It went off really smooth. I was very shocked, and nobody usurped time from another person. Everyone had pretty much equal time to speak, and it was a good discussion on top of that. So I think the first show went off great, A+.
And privately, I'll say it publicly, and that a huge chunk of that was because you, Johnny, my dog. But no, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. We had people out in Cali, Milwaukee, upstairs, downstairs, all kinds of fun.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, well, Marion was upstairs. You know what I mean? But
yes, we
it
did
was
have
nice.
We had people all over, and and it was fun. I mean, I'm glad that it came off good. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it because it was the first time, but everyone had equal say, and we got kind of everyone's opinion, and we had some great discussion. So I was super happy with it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And who knows? I mean, we're originally slated to do these quarterly, but if people dig them, I could see potentially doing them a little bit more frequently. So, but if you guys want more of it, let us know. And if you guys missed the first one that we did, definitely check out the Patreon for the next time. Basically, everyone watches the movie, and then we get together and all talk about it on Discord. There's a Discord voice chat. Raven Shadow figured it out. He realized that it's not a way to leave a voice message. So Raven Shadow, if Raven Shadow can figure out, anyone can figure it out.
That's right.
No offense, Raven Shadow.
Well, let's be honest. Marion figured it out and showed him how to do it.
That's true.
Well, maybe not everyone has their own Marion, so.
I was getting anxiety. I was like, "Fuck!" I can't be. What's Yeah.
But it's super easy to do, and the conversation can continue offline too when we're not doing the show. Like we have a spoiler section. If people ever want to talk about stuff in there and you weren't able to get in there, just say, hey, I want to talk about this flick, and then we'll talk about it. So, but if you guys have yet to join the Discord, please do so. Anyone can join, but the folks who are not on Patreon only will have access to the general chat room. But we have a bunch of other chat rooms on there as well, including some voice chat channels. We got the black. What are we calling it again? The black tapes.
Blackout tapes.
Blackout tapes. That's it. We got the blackout tapes channel.
Can I just go on and start rambling and be like, yeah?
No one's going to hear it unless they're in there, though. You could pop in there though, and maybe people will look. Or what you do is you go in general chat and you type and you say, hey, I'll be hanging out in the blackout tapes voice channel if anyone wants to come chat. Throw it out there so people know, and then you pop in there. Maybe some people pop in and hang out with you.
But what if I get anxiety and no one shows up? I got to put headphones on Oliver.
Well, then you get anxiety. You could wait until someone says, hey, I'll pop in a few minutes. And then right?
Or you try to get someone to come on board with you. Your Friday night conversations with Corny, you could do it on there, and you could try to get other people to get involved in that.
Or you could post on Facebook and say, hey, at this time on this day, I'll be doing the blackout tapes.
Yeah,
I'll be schedule. Fucking all raw. You know what I mean?
You raw dogging it?
I'll be raw dogging it. I'll be riding dirty at 11:30.
Yeah, just Raven Shadow. Just schedule it, dude, on Facebook, on 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 here. Just schedule it.
He can't schedule it because he can't make it to this show. He's definitely not going to make it to something where he's the only one setting the time.
I need an assistant.
Yes, you do. All right, well, let me read the comment from EF. So he's referring to our latest Patreon episode, Patreon exclusive episode 14, The Baddest Movie Villains. And he says, at the 7-minute mark, Johnny asks Raven Shadow for his first choice on his baddest movie villain list. Raven Shadow responds by making a quick scream/yelp because he was startled by a surprise guest star that Oliver hadn't screened for him. But for a brief second, I thought he was going to say that he picked Zed from Police Academy 2, their first assignment to be on his villain list. I mean, Raven Shadow's scream had a positively Goldthwaitian tone to it. I can just see it now.
EF was so funny. First time Mike was dropping bombs. Carlito was fucking great.
Well, you have no.
Mary-
You have, we moved on to something else. You have no comment about that.
What?
Oh God.
We moved to the Patreon episode now.
Yeah. Now
We went away from Discord. Now we're on Patreon.
That was good.
Do you
show.
remember doing the Patreon?
Do you remember talking about the baddest movie villains?
I do. Yeah.
Thank God.
I gotta check that one out.
Thank God. Now comment on it about EF Contentment's comment about how he thought you were channeling your inner Zed as a movie villain.
Well, I think EF Contentment was very smart, and I think he sees things that you guys don't see, and I think he understands the medium more than others. So I think he's very talented and very smart.
That was an unbelievable non-answer.
You're getting better at those. You have a career in politics.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking that. Politician.
Yep. Fit him with a red hat.
Oh,
Raven
God.
Shadow 2020.
Well, he does.
It'd be a lot fucking worse.
Well, he does have that fox hat. Remember?
That was Channel 25, dude. Isn't a fucking affiliate.
And his slogan, whatever, man.
Shadow McCorney 2020, whatever, man.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a character. It can be a slogan.
Yeah.
Whatever,
man.
Marion asks, Wolfie, is there a way for me to record the blackout tapes on my phone? I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. There probably is a way, but I just don't know how. I don't know what kind of apps can record using Discord. So, all right. So, Patreon, though, once again, if you guys want to join our Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio, head on over, and for as little as $2, you can start getting some exclusive content. You can help supporting the show. If you want to go up the next tier, so $2, you become a hunter. $5, you become a slayer. That gives you access to the video shows that we do for Patreon, and it also gives you access to the Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club, which we'll be discussing some films every quarter, every couple months. We'll see how it all shakes out. And then if you guys want to go for the gusto for Terminator in the $10 tier, you get all of that we just talked about, plus you get to program an episode of Trick or Treat Radio, and you get to come on as a guest. And we'll be doing that in 2 weeks, our first Patreon show in 2 weeks. So looking forward to that. We got some cool stuff planned for it. So if anyone else, we had someone else this week actually join as a Terminator. Let me go ahead and get that person's name, just so I don't fuck it up. So let me pull. What's that?
Look at all the little Terminators.
Look at all the little Terminators. Let me see here. Patreon's website's weird to navigate around. So we just our latest Terminator's Jonathan Roth.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
So Jonathan just joined within the last several days, and we'll obviously be in touch with you about scheduling your episode, as will everyone else who is a Terminator. We got in touch with the first person. We scheduled that out, and we'll be revealing the details of that episode next week. So looking forward to that. But if you guys want, and it's a limited thing because we're only doing 12 of those episodes a year, so it is limited. So if you guys want to jump on that and get into the Terminator tier, go ahead and check out patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and all proceeds that we get from our Patreon go to pay for the show. As you can see, case in point, MZ's headset that he's wearing, that was bought by our wonderful patrons. He's going to model it now to show him Vanna White. So that's directly supported by our Patreon supporters. And also for you guys pay, whenever you see an episode pop up on the podcast feed, you guys help pay for that, keep the website going, all the subscription services that we have, all that stuff you guys help pay for. So we appreciate all of your support. It means so much to us, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys.
That's right. And I wouldn't be able to hear you guys.
That's right.
If it weren't for these. And if I wouldn't have these if it weren't for our Patreon. So thank you, Patreons.
Oh, Evil Corny says, Galvatron really, MZ?
Yeah, really? What about it?
To know what...
if you're telling me he's not a badass villain, then you and I, we're going to have a talk.
Bombs Corny.
So if you guys are curious about what he's referring to, you'll have to listen to the most recent exclusive episode of Patreon.
That's right.
All right, so let's start to wrap this up here. The other ways you can help support the show, go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click on it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Doesn't cost any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
There you go. So if you guys want to help support, as I mentioned, all the ways that we need the support, you can also just use Amazon. So in addition to Patreon, or in place of, if you can't afford the Patreon, but you still buy stuff on Amazon, just go ahead and use our link. And finally, trickortreatradio.com, there's a store. Click on it. We got some digital goods in there. The greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio Volume 1 through 3 are available to purchase, so you can also give those a look. So that is especially good for people who have only been turned on to the show recently. If you guys want to hear some of the older stuff, some of the funny bits, some of the hits, some of the misses, some of the in betweens, it's all there. So go check that out. Check out the greatest hits. Dr. Chris says Sputnik was awesome. Did you see the film We Die Alone? It's on Prime. Creepy dating movie. I have not seen that. Has anyone seen that? We Die Alone?
I'm not familiar with it.
I mean, it's a matter of time, I suppose, but...
I don't even see We Die Alone, so I don't know if it's listed under another name or something. But yes, we want to get into this. So Raven Shadow, I want you to tell the folks, what do you do to prepare for a sci-fi horror film that's in Russian? What do you do to prepare for that fucking movie?
Oh, man, I want to say big up to all my cosmonauts. I'm going to mix some... that's what the astronauts drink. That's fun. You know what I mean? I probably don't watch a lot of Challenger videotapes because that was a fucking bad day. But no, you know what I mean? I think about the episode of Hulk when Hulk Hogan and the good guys and Piper and the bad guys went in space, and it was the argument between Hulk Hogan, cartoon Hulk Hogan, and cartoon Nikolai Volkov about, is it an astronaut? Is it a cosmonaut? And they're brawling. It's kind of a slobber knocker. That's kind of a weird thing. But I'm thinking, well, I got to get excited because I got in the mail my cool new Jim Smith Teal t-shirt.
Oh, look at you. Fuck, I forgot to buy mine. Shit.
Oh, yours, yeah, call me out, Johnny. Look at that. Your boy did that.
How did you do that?
Look at that.
No.
Did you do that or did Marion do that?
He did not do that.
Marion did that. Come
Doesn't
on.
matter how I did it, Jim Smith. I got it. Okay.
It doesn't matter how you did it because you didn't do it.
I
Yeah,
know.
you can't call out anyone else for not doing it if you didn't do it yourself.
I don't know who did it. I don't know who's not going to do it. I don't know who thought about it. All I
We
know
already
is
know
God.
who's not going to do it.
Well, fair enough. But Jim Smith, your boy Raven Shadow, loves you. So you know what? Doesn't matter how I got it, Aries. Okay, I have it. I had to strap on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glory is a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
We return to Trick or Treat Radio.
All right.
That was more like 3 and 3 MZ.
Was it? Maybe it was. Who knows? Time goes by fast.
All right, so we are going to talk about the film Sputnik from 2020. This film is unrated. It is 1 hour, 53 minutes. It is a drama horror sci-fi film, and it is directed by Igor Abramenko. And the film is written by Oleg Malavichko and Andrei Zolotarev. Russian is definitely not as strong as Japanese for me, but we'll see if we can get through this. The film stars Oksana Akanshina, Fedor Bondarchuk, Peter Fyodorov, and Anton Vasilev. And the synopsis: the lone survivor of an enigmatic spaceship incident hasn't returned back home alone. Hiding inside his body is a dangerous creature.
Ooh, hey.
Hey now.
Yeah.
So, all right, well let's start talking about this with or without Raven Shadow, because I know when I invoke his name, he runs in the room. Raven Shadow, Raven Shadow, Raven Shadow. It's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't
Make
work.
him like candy.
Didn't work that time. All right, so I do know we had some interest in doing this film. Some people had reached out and asked us if we're going to do it. I don't remember everyone, but I think Carlitos actually recommended that we do this for Monster Piece Theater. But I knew it was coming up on the show. So, that's obviously why we didn't do it for that. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is we've only done, I think, 3 Russian films in the history of the show. So out of, let me see, how many films have we done?
And one of them we did earlier this year.
Yeah. And the other one we did maybe 2 years ago is that superhero one called Guardian or Guardians.
Yeah, I think. Wow. You might be right.
So we've done, we're on episode 424. Some of our shows have had more than one film. So I'm guessing we're probably close to about 500 films at this point, roughly. So, 500 films, only 3 of them Russian. Like, it just speaks to the output, or at least maybe not the output necessarily, but the crossover appeal of Russian cinema, because it doesn't necessarily make it this way very often, or so it seems,
Yeah, it's they put out genre. They put out stuff in the genre that would pique our interest. But it's like you said, whether or not it makes it over here is a completely different story, because they have movies over there that we've never heard of, and good chance that we'll never get a chance to see.
Yeah. So this film is directed by Igor Abramenko, and this is his first feature film. He previously directed a couple shorts, one of which was called The Passenger, which when I looked into it a little bit and looked at the synopsis, seems to be a precursor to this film. So, it has a very similar synopsis and premise. So my guess is that he made that, and that enabled him to get some funding to make this film. So I actually don't even remember who put this out. I remember looking it up, and I completely forgot. But let me quickly look. I don't know if this was IFC Midnight. Yeah, I forget who put this one out, but I'm looking up to see. Maybe I'll be able to find out in just a few moments here. But looking at it, the budget was about $2.6 million US.
So it's low budget.
So it's 190 million rubles, which is 2.6 million US dollars, which is pretty. Not much. That's definitely a very low budget in terms of an American film. So, but apparently COVID had sort of hindered the release, because it was originally supposed to play at festivals in April, but was obviously postponed due to COVID. And I guess Sony Pictures had slated a theatrical release for the film in Russia. But instead was released on VOD in Russia because of COVID as well. And IFC Midnight actually did acquire the film's North American distribution rights. And it was set to release in select theaters and VOD and it hit I think August 14th, so it's been out for a little bit. But we had some other stuff that we were checking out, so that's why I took a few weeks to get to this one. But yeah, so interesting. So IFC Midnight, I believe, as far as I'm aware, might be their first Russian release as well. So, but yeah, this film has definitely been getting a decent amount of buzz. I don't know if you guys had heard any about it, but I had heard some decent buzz about this, and was definitely curious to check it out. So, all right, well, let's get some thoughts. Raven Shadow's finally back. I tried the Beetlejuice method on you, Raven Shadow, but it didn't work.
Well, you should have had a brothel.
I forgot to turn the video back on, so I apologize. I just did. So we're talking. You know what, Raven Shadow? I didn't want to have the video on without you. That's what we'll go with.
Thank you, buddy.
You should have said whatever, man. Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
Oh, Marion says, dudes, Raven Shadow has PayPal now.
Oh,
Bullshit.
No, you don't.
oh, been outed like
He
a
does
motherfucker.
not.
No, so yeah, no, I got the PayPal now, and I PayPal'd it.
You got
Yeah,
what do you think? That's like a friend that you pay over and over? PayPal?
Yeah, like, oh, pal, let me give you some money. Buy that for me. Give me some beer.
Hey, pal, I'm going to give you some money. Pick me up some beer.
Yeah, normally it'd be like, Mary, let me give you some money and buy that for me.
That's what he says to his mom when he wants her to go pick up cigarettes. Hey, pal, here's some money.
No, never, ever.
Pick me up.
No, he doesn't give his mother any money.
Pick me up
Listen.
a couple of cottons.
Give you a couple of cottons. Listen, don't have kids if you can't take care of them, okay? Doesn't matter if they're 43 years old. No, that's fun. I do have the PayPal now, and I get a little nervous.
Do you know how to operate it, or do you just tell Marion to operate it for you?
No, I asked Marion, like, what buttons do I press? And yeah, so I got the PayPal now. It's on app next to Discord in my favorites on the phone.
So essentially, it's Marion's PayPal just with your name.
No, I have a password.
What's your password?
I'll tell you offline. But no, yeah. So yeah, no, I get that. I bought it all pretty much by myself. I paid it on today's.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no.
Who pressed the buttons to make it happen?
I think I did.
You don't. You think?
You don't remember?
This is ridiculous.
You don't remember?
Well, who knows? Listen.
Who knows? You know.
You would know better than anybody.
Yeah.
Listen, it's all fucking black magic to me, man. It's fucking weird. It's not real.
No, it's not black magic. If you took off the tinted glasses, it would just seem normal.
Yeah.
It's only black because it's dark in those glasses.
Yeah, so take off the glasses, Lennon.
Speaking of Lenin, big ups to Stalin. You got some Russian.
By Lenin.
Yeah. Big ups to Russia.
Yeah, man. Where's our boy from Kostroma? I miss him.
Yeah.
I actually would be curious about if our boy from Kostroma still listens. If you could let us know if this movie, like, is this a movie that's well known in Russia? Is it, I'm kind of curious whereabouts this lands. Obviously it's not a big budget in terms of money put into it, but I'd be curious to see. But yeah, I don't know if our buddy listens anymore. But if he does, let us know. All right, so we should get into this and start talking about this flick. What do you think, Raven Shadow? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know any Russian.
I didn't ask if you know any Russian.
You barely know any English.
Yeah. Yet. I love my Russian brothers and sisters very much. I know the Cold War, that was bad.
You just got to name things now.
Yeah.
Well, Rocky fixed it, and it's all good. Big ups to Gorbachev.
Gorbachev and Ivan Drago and Yakov Smirnov.
Nikolai Volkov.
He was good. Zangief. Wasn't Zangief from the Mother Russia?
I forget.
And you know the story. The guy who came into the shop when I told that story on the I was working in a shop pre-COVID. Guy came in and basically he looked just like if you watch The Sopranos. I know the episode where Paulie and Christopher are stuck in the woods when they fucking had the botched like Russian encounter. But there was a guy that looked just like that fucking dude came in the shop. He's walking up and down the racks. He's all fucking pissed off. And I'm like, "Oh, sir, can I help you?" And he's like, goes to me, "Is this am to be selling?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's funny. This am to be selling sometimes. It's funny. You take pictures and words and you put it together. It's kind of art form." He's like, "Not in Russia." I'm like, "Okay. Well, in America, we seem to enjoy that." He goes, "I know this man. This man, all he does is play video games all day long. He has no mind, plays video games all day long." And I'm like, "Well, I guess, there could be worse things you could spend your money on, right?" Like, "Not in Russia." And everything was not in Russia. And walked down with a smug look on his face. And eventually left the shop. That was a weird day.
Wow. All right. Well, there we go. There's
Are we supposed to review a film or something?
Well, it wasn't MZ's fucking story, but
all right. So now this is I guess you could say sci-fi horror is not a super well populated genre. There is like a good portion, like I could say name sci-fi horror films and you guys could name some off the bat. Like, but there's not a ton out there that immediately come to mind. At least I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? What do you think? It's a popular genre? Is it more of a subgenre? Raven Shadow?
I mean, what comes to mind is the first Alien, Life Force.
Well, I'm not necessarily asking you to name films. I
feel he's going to give them to you anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, does it?
He loves to talk, so he's just going to talk.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay. Name every single sci-fi horror that you know.
Oh,
Flesh.
God. Yeah.
No, but
He just did. He's done.
He's spent.
Yeah, show off your T-shirt again. There you go. Marion did good. Got you a new T-shirt. She gets you an extra large because it's long.
Yeah, is it an XL?
No, I was getting anxiety. I actually I told him to get me a large because Johnny said large.
Why would you get the same one as me?
Because he wants to be like you.
I want to do Face Off 2 with me and Johnny. I want to put my face on Johnny's body. We go
That
into
looks so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like,
All
I'll
right,
be
so
Troy, and you be fucking Pulp Fiction.
what? Okay,
John-
let's get back to the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Oh shit.
Wow, this is.
This is crushing my brain.
Okay, I think the horror sci-fi is, even though those are kind of grouped together, them together in a single movie is more of a subgenre. I don't think they play nice together for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think the fans appreciate them together.
Well, I think they're more or less relegated to the B level or the C level of filmmaking. A lot of this stuff you'll find on Sci-Fi Network, or you'll find on Tubi, made by some wannabe director who's put in a budget of, say, like maybe a couple $100,000 for a film. And I guess it all depends on your taste in films as to whether or not you like these sort of things. But the higher end horror sci-fi combinations are generally much better in the, and I can't believe I'm saying this, in the higher budget areas.
Well, I mean, the bar is set high.
Alien
with
Starship
Alien
Troopers.
Alien. I mean, that is the high bar.
High bar.
For the genre,
I
that
agree.
is the high bar. But it's also a high bar for just cinema in general. So I mean,
Sure.
to reach that in just anything, it's difficult. So you're looking at a great movie in a subgenre, very difficult to achieve.
Yeah, especially when you figure that subgenre never really truly existed before then. I mean, everything was, before then during the 50s, they had the sci-fis, with like a horror background or a horror
It was
motif.
more of a
but
drama sci-fi with maybe some horrific elements thrown in here and there.
you're talking about this film, or
No. I'm talking about some of the older sci-fi films. Yeah, that you're referencing just now.
yeah. I mean, the horror kind of took a backseat to the sci-fi aspect of the film, but it was still there. But it was never really truly achieved until '79 when Alien came out, and that just, like Eric said, set the bar. And it's still the level that must be graded for every other horror sci-fi film.
That's sort of the litmus test. You're right. It's sort of the one that the bar. It set the bar. And there have been others, but if you think about it, it is definitely, think about how many horror movies come out every year. I mean, there's hundreds, if not thousands. And look at what subsection of them are sci-fi. Sci-fi horror. My guess is it's less than 10 to 20. I mean, and that's being generous, I think. So, we're not looking at a large. Go ahead, Aries. You gonna say something?
Oh no, I mean, I'm just my thought process with this whole, because we keep on separating the sci-fi and the horror, but in the mainstream, when you like group movies, sci-fi horror is one grouping normally, and a lot of the horror, even though it is classified as horror, is actually sci-fi in some respects, because it's dealing with fictional science. Jason keeping coming back from the dead. That's fictional science, so it's sci-fi in some aspects.
Well, no, I think you get magic going on there.
I picked magic.
Supernatural machinations, but I mean, you could have the old like giant spider movies and shit like that.
Well, that's the old school sci-fi horror. Yes.
But I mean, like we talked about the supernatural western. I think the supernatural western genre is not in terms of quality or goodness, for lack of a better term, but I think there's more sci-fi horror than supernatural westerns, and there's a good chunk of both.
Oh, you'd be right about that. That's a safe bet to make.
It's not like the action rom-com genre, which would be kind of dope. Like put like the Raid 3, and then like someone has like a love story. That'd be fucking kind of wild.
Well, no. Well, I mean, as far as where you draw the line with certain things as to where you're going to count things. I mean, sci-fi western. I mean, there's the obvious choices, but there's stuff that only kind of like loosely fits into that. And if you really think about how the movie plays out as to where it's going to fit, Star Wars in some respects plays out as a sci-fi western.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think
these lines get pulled back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of this. I mean, it's just you can play with this, and it's why we love cinema, because you can just like draw these lines back and forth, and movies just fit into certain things.
And we also have, I mean, there's a lot of sci-fi typically. I mean, sci-fi alone is a genre in its own, but we also have sort of sci-fi dramas as well, which is another sort of popular sort of mashup. We have films like, I guess you could say, like Interstellar,
Right.
Contact,
Gravity.
Yep, Arrival. There's one of the others, Moon, ones like that. So you
and
have
all that.
Go ahead.
All that could fit with Black Mirror, and it could also fit in with Aliens.
Yeah, and
I would the same sex video store.
And I would say that this film does a good job of kind of mashing up all of those, because it definitely has an element of like, I'm not calling out this movie specifically, but like Arrival. or something along the lines of a sci-fi film like that. Has anyone seen Arrival, by the way?
It's been a little while.
Wait,
It had,
is that what?
Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner?
No.
Okay. Well, that one was
Wait.
it was directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did Blade Runner 2049. He's doing the new Dune. So he's obviously a filmmaker on the rise. But yeah, Raven Shadow.
Wasn't Charlie Sheen in The Arrival?
That was a different one. That was a different one.
You get a fucking different title, dog. I mean, that was the fucking Sheen joint. Like, don't do.
What? What are you talking about?
you have Arrival and The Arrival. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
enough of
there you
that.
go.
settle down.
There you go.
Enough of adding the in front of shit.
God damn it.
Host or the host.
Are you,
You know.
legit like that? This is the fight that you're picking?
Man, the Batman. The fuck. Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. Like,
Who
add
gives a
the
shit?
Films can't have the same title and not be the same thing.
No, fuck, Johnny. I'm just saying. Charlie Sheen was in The Arrival.
Okay, yeah. This is Arrival from 2016.
Yeah.
All right. But
Arrival.
whatever, man.
Whatever, man. There you go. All right, so, but all right, so this movie kicks off. We're in space, and holy shit, if you are claustrophobic, you would not fucking last in this fucking ship.
Yeah, you don't have too much room to walk around in.
I was
No.
getting because I thought I didn't know anything about it, but I thought the whole movie was gonna be these dudes in this fucking pod for the entire fucking running time.
Why did that give you anxiety?
Because I don't want to be in those fucking that pod with these two dudes for the runtime. I was like,
You don't want to be in a pod with two dudes?
not for that much time.
Two dudes, one pod?
They go outside and smoke. What the fuck? I can't do this.
Yeah, how would you do that? Raven
I have
Shadow,
no
what if you were chosen to be an astronaut?
You know what?
I can't even say it in a straight face.
That alone is ridiculous.
Much like I wanted to be a big rig driver, a big truck driver, because I watched BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an astronaut because I saw Space Camp, and I wanted to become a cop because of Carrie Mahoney and Axel Foley. All things that didn't end up on my life trajectory. So yeah, I am no astronaut nor cosmonaut. So I could mix the tang.
You put the ass in astronaut.
Yeah, I could make the orange juice.
You could make the orange juice. So if you were the last hope, they're like, help me, Raven Shadow. You're our only hope. We need you to go into space, and you're and you can't smoke. What
Doomed.
would you say? You're the only one that can save the human race. You have to go in a fucking in a ship in space, and you can't smoke.
Doomed.
Yeah, we're
You
done.
have to repopulate the human race.
Yes, and you have to repopulate the human race.
Can
Well,
I
I'll do
smoke?
that.
Can I smoke?
No, yeah, you just said no more cigarettes. No more cigarettes. As much sex as you could possibly want.
Yeah.
I can imagine quite a bit there. Is no, but,
I'm telling you, as much sex as you could possibly want, but you can never smoke again.
but listen, I flew to Italy, okay, with 8-hour flight, and I didn't smoke or try to escape. So
Okay,
just-
that's not any remotely close to what I'm asking you.
How long
it was
was
very.
how long was that flight?
You weren't on that flight. I thought we may have to repopulate the human race.
How long was that
Eight-
flight?
8 hours and you're probably asleep for 4 of them.
No, because I wore my combat boots and it smelled like fucking Italian grinders. It was bad, dude. It was bad. It was fucking babies.
Wait, your boots smell like Italian grinders?
It was a kid-
Probably.
No, we flew to Italy. It was everyone going back home, and like Tom Smith was the only one that had a watch. So I'd crawl up to fucking try to
Watch.
find him.
A watch. What the
Get it?
fuck is
The one
going
place
on?
he could. His ass.
Watch.
So I go up to fucking his section. I'd be like, yo, tell him what time it is. Fucking 5 minutes from the last time you asked. Fuck.
So, all right, 8 hours is one thing. What about 8 months?
Well, what the fucking hand?
You don't have to raise your hand. You can just fucking talk. You know that?
Oh, God damn
Is-
it all.
Drive.
What?
Is there a hyperdrive?
No. This is
What
fucking
does it
real
matter?
life. This is
8
real
months
life.
is 8 months.
But we could tell we'd be faster. We could like it's light speed.
That's what light speed sounds like.
Just like that.
This is 8 months, Raven Shadow. No light
months?
speed. 8 months.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it?
I don't know.
It's a yes or no question.
All
It's
right.
an
All
eight-
right. Enough. We're spending too much. We're not even going to talk about the fucking
Yeah.
movie because we're talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start keeping track of how many times I want to hit him. So the next time I see him, I can just
Oh.
beat the shit out of him.
That's a good idea.
You wouldn't.
I'm just gonna hand someone a clipboard and tell them to mark off every time I hit him, and tell me to stop when I hit the mark.
You love me too much for that. I love you so much.
You think?
Big brother.
Big brother.
I beat the shit out of my brother.
That's true. Well, I know your brother. He deserves
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So do you.
All right, so let's talk about this movie. So we're talking about the claustrophobic nature of that ship. Raven Shadow would not last, so let's move on from that. But I thought that right off the bat we got some really effective character development and also some really effective kind of scares. Because they're just doing their sort of thing, like kind of lulling into this false sense of security of them just sort of interacting, and then all of a sudden they see something. And I thought the way they did the, the I guess the creature was well done because you didn't really, you saw like a tail or something, and he was like, what was that? And then it created this really creepy sort of vibe. And then what they did was they showed you enough to keep you guessing about what's going on, and then they just let the sound and the camera work do the rest for you. And I thought that was really effective and a great way to sort of introduce you to this sort of creature of, whatever where we're seeing. And then we get the spaceship basically crash lands, and then we see one of the crew members like fucking destroyed. Like his like brain was showing. It was fucking crazy. It was well done too, I will say. So is there anything you guys want to add about that scene? Anything that set up for you?
Not that I know what to add, but I would like to have had more of that opening scene with them in the confined space.
Yeah.
Because what they were building there was great. Like I said, I don't know what you would add to it, but the tension they were creating was great for this movie. And I was a little disappointed that it was so short.
I agree. I expected maybe another 3 or 4 minutes. And the claustrophobic feeling that was set inside that capsule was actually quite jarring, because you see other films where they're shot out into space and they're doing their whatever it is they're doing something out there, but like Apollo 13 or a film like Gravity, where they're all in close confinement with each other. You sense that, and you feel that. Here, you also feel it, but I agree with Aries. I think it could have gone on just a little bit longer. And the end result, where they crash landed on Earth, and you have one victim that's completely decimated, the back of his head is completely exposed, and then you got the other guy who's basically just gone bonkers and is just profusely bleeding from the mouth. But it was a very good opening scene. I agree.
Yeah, I think it set a really good tone for what was going to happen in this film and gave you a little bit of, I think the thing is, it didn't really it didn't really hide what it was necessarily, especially when you look at the poster, you read the synopsis, and then you see the first scene. There's clearly a creature involved in this. Like, so while you're watching the film, there's sort of this like it kind of unfolds, and you don't quite know how it's going to play in. But I think that was part of the, not necessarily, I won't call it a mystery. It wasn't a mystery film, but like we have the character of Tatiana, who is brought into this investigation. Kind of an investigation and sort of a psychological profile to kind of like get an idea of what's going on with this guy, but with the surviving cosmonaut. But the thing they don't really tell her is like what's going on with him. They're like, they want her to do a psychiatric evaluation to find out more about him, and she started digging into it and finding more about his like PTSD and all these other things. And so her knowledge of his story is slowly unfolding, as well as obviously the viewer. But we all sort of have an idea of what might be going on, but not quite. So, I think they planted the seeds fairly well about what was going on here, and I thought it was a good buy-in in terms of having some mystery play out in terms of what Tatiana knows and what she finds out. And I thought the performances pretty much right off the bat, I thought were really convincing. Now, you never kind of know what you're getting when you're watching a foreign language film, because obviously we're reading, in this case we're reading subtitles. We don't quite know the delivery in how they're saying it. So there is a little bit of a sort of communication breakdown there, but we are hearing the inflection of their voice, we're hearing their tone, and we're reading the words. So you can kind of piece it together, but I always feel like we're missing a portion of the performance. And I know, Aries, you've talked about this. You actually prefer dubbed because you get to hear an actor perform it in your home language, right?
Oh, no. I don't necessarily prefer dubbed. I feel both of them have their drawbacks.
Gotcha.
Because unless the director also directs the dubbing, I feel that you're in the same restriction as the reading of the subtitles.
Gotcha. Okay, so
actually,
yeah,
with the dialogue this time around, it's weird. I mean, normally I don't get this vibe when I watch another when I watch a movie from another country. With this one in particular, it really threw me. You say that you heard the inflections and in their voices as they were speaking. I felt them to be completely emotionless. I didn't get any of that at all. I thought there was little to no emotion in the most dire circumstances that were going on in these films. It just felt very cold, very emotionless. And I don't know if I'm supposed to take that away from a movie, considering that this is a Russian film and it takes place during the Cold War. The setting of this movie is the early 1980s. So yeah. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to feel, but but ultimately that's what I got.
Well,
see, I got that feeling from certain characters, but I felt that was intentional. Anyone that was toting the company line, any of that was on board with the whole Soviet, propaganda. I got that whole, company line feeling, no emotion, but it's the characters that went against the grain. I did get an emotional response from them, from their delivery of their lines.
Did you? Yeah, because I felt like I didn't. I feel like I missed out on that part.
And also, I mean, we don't know. I should say I personally don't really know the culture in Russia. I don't know much about Russian culture, so I don't know if maybe that's more of sort of a stoic emotionally. Maybe that's something that is part of their culture. I'm not sure. I thought that there was enough range here. I could see what you're saying, MZ, and I think that, like Ari said, I think it was intentional when that was the case. But I actually, there was one part early on where there's the conversation between the Colonel and Tatiana, and I just thought that their back and forth and their chemistry was really good. I just got a good feel for those two characters, and maybe it's just because I was engaged in the film, but their performances seemed like they were a step above for me. Not like I'm not talking Oscar worthy shit here, but I'm talking like they were really convincing. And I thought that Tatiana was played well by Oksana Akinshina. And also I did enjoy the Colonel's sort of like stoicness, because he was supposed to be that kind of character where he didn't give much information. He was very reserved with his emotions, and very much, sort of this company guy of all business and not giving her the information that she necessarily needs, just the bare minimum of what she needs to do her job, but not enough. So I thought that alone right there, I thought that there was some good acting work done that made it really convincing for me.
And that's where I was kind of all in. Like, I loved the helicopter or the plane ride in when she's talking to the Colonel, and the Colonel saying some things. He's like, "Well, should I sign the non-disclosure agreement?"
Yeah.
Oh, when we land, he's like, "What?" He's like, "Listen, I'm paraphrasing, but like, you're telling me some shit. Should I sign it now, or later?" And he was very much like the Russian, like Nick Fury. Like I dug the character. He had a job to do, and I liked her character. I liked her chutzpah.
Yeah.
Going into it, and I was really into the two of them, and I don't feel that he was necessarily the villain. He had his job to do too, and there was other scientists already on board, but they brought in this woman to kind of maybe be a counterbalance, and I thought that was interesting. And I believe MZ mentioned that it was set in the 80s. It was 82 or 83,
I think.
Yeah.
Which is important, because that was not height of Cold War, but kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
They billed the movie as height of Cold War, but that wasn't the height of the Cold War.
True. But they didn't really. There wasn't any like anti-American sentiment. But based on what weapons are needed for peace.
Yeah.
There's a comment that was.
Yeah,
mentioned.
and that was You're right. Like, so this is something they were doing, I guess, for the government, and yes, there was something of that involved, and maybe it had to do with the Cold War.
Well, the fact that it was 83 and it was towards the end of the Soviet reign is important, because they were the USSR was grasping at straws at that point to retain their world power, because by the end of the 80s, the Soviet Union was no more. So this was just leading one attempt at their grasping at their keeping their world power and dominating the world. That was why the 83 was very important. It wasn't the very end, but it was close to the end. It was where they were struggling. They saw that the end was near.
Yeah.
And that was.
Go ahead, Raven.
Was it as the hockey game? Was it 83 or 84? No, that's the same.
1980.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh.
You're talking about the Olympics, where the
Olympics,
USA beat Russia. Yeah, that was 80.
When Kurt Russell beat Russia.
Kurt Russell.
Oh. Okay, that hockey game has absolutely nothing to do with anything.
I know. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution.
Even though I love that hockey game, and ironically enough, in front of me right now is I have a framed photo, not a photo, a painting of that hockey game in front of me right now.
How about that, Raven Shadow?
No, don't ask him that. Oh.
And then you got the greasy basses behind Monster Zero. It's fucking Squash Guardians.
Squash Guardians. All right, so obviously we don't want to call out too much in the way of spoilers, but as she starts to get deeper into sort of learning more about Constantine, she, we do see a. Do we only want to talk? I mean, do we want to talk about the symbiotic relationship here, or is that sort of a little dicey?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we want to dive into that too much.
So she just learns more about what happened in space and what is happening with Constantine. And I think that there's some pretty interesting stuff that goes on here. And especially when she starts to dig a little bit deeper and sees what happens at night, and when she tries to when she puts on the suit, I'll just say, like, that was a pretty fucking, crazy scene. And there was some cool stuff that was going on. And I wish we could talk a little bit more about it, but I do feel that this is left better unsaid in case you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, it's got a nice little jump scare in there that kind of got me. I mean, it was kind of approaching. You knew it was coming, but it was a matter of when.
Well, not necessarily a matter of when, a matter of how.
Yeah.
And I thought it was done very well.
No, to me, it was a matter of when, because the way it was edited, sometimes it gives you a little pause, and this time it didn't do that, so it just came at you, kind of strong. So I was really appreciative of that. That was a good little scare that they threw in.
And I got to admit, I thought that when the other doctor before Tatiana came in asked what his name was, and he says, what did he say, Colonel Robert Duvall or something like that?
Duvall.
Yeah, his name is Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, something like that. Or like,
yeah.
Was that? I was just wondering if that was was that an homage to 2010 or just to Robert Duvall in general?
I mean, I could go either way, but I love that. It was great.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Because
just kind of have a little bit too.
Because what? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Robert Duvall wasn't. He was not in 2010. So yeah, I don't know why I juxtaposed.
Oh, you're thinking of Roy Scheider.
Yeah. So never mind. It had nothing to do with that. Yep.
I was thinking more Apocalypse Now.
So, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of a funny little touch in there. Because in 1983, I mean, Robert Duvall, I mean, what was, I'm guessing that was sort of like maybe the height of his acting career, would be safe to say.
I mean, it could be, but also, you're talking about, the Soviet Union, where not everyone might not be familiar with American actors. So
true,
it might be lost on the character, the name.
Yeah, true. It could be. So I thought a lot of that interaction. I thought a lot of those scenes, those could be kind of grating and boring when they have a lot of these sort of like interview sort of scenes. Like that can be hit or miss with me. Like when it happens over and over, a lot of times it feels monotonous. But I actually thought that they did a pretty good job of making these feel kind of fresh, because there wasn't, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of them, but it wasn't significant where it was like, oh, another one of these scenes. I thought that they did a good job of kind of keeping them fresh, and especially I like the tactics that Tatiana's character took, especially when she found out about his son. I thought that was really interesting and effective the way she pulled that off.
Oh, and she had stones too. She had stones.
Yeah.
From the jump. Once she realized where she was at, she's like, "Fuck it, I'm all in." And even down to going into the cage. I definitely don't want to. I don't want to spoil things. I knew nothing about this flick aside from the name and press play. But I thought the science. There's a symbiotic relationship. That's fair to say, right? I thought the science behind that symbiotic relationship was explored really well.
I agree.
Sense.
Yeah, there was some like super interesting stuff about how they approached that and how they explained it, because you don't necessarily have to do that in a movie, but when you do, I feel it adds extra credibility to what you're trying to do. And I felt that, because when you see what happens, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like in terms of like, suspension of disbelief. Yeah, you can suspend disbelief and believe that this could happen. But when they give you even just a slight explanation of, yeah, so this happens, and this happens, and this is what enables this to happen. It's like, oh, okay, you actually thought about this. All right, that makes sense to me. I'm sold.
You know what I loved about that was the fact that, I mean, at the risk of a spoiler, they make assumptions with certain things, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
fair.
it was in most movies they kind of like, okay, this is how it is, and they're right, and it plays out exactly how they think, and everything goes, according to plan, and everyone lives happily ever after. In this movie, they make assumptions. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, and that's exactly how things play out in the real world.
Yeah, I guess that's science for you, right? Like when
Yeah,
you come up
yes.
with a hypothesis and you figure out and you try to figure it out, you come up with the theory first and then you test it, right?
Yeah, which is perfect
Exactly.
because it's perfect because it's like a lot of other movies. They just want to, they build up the character, build up the story, then they cut to the quick for the explanations. Here they didn't do that. Here they decided to play with yourself, play with your mind.
We know what MZ was doing when he watched this. Jeez.
They decided to play with your mind and say, well, look, some of these ideas are going to work, some of these ideas are not going to work, and they took the time to establish that, and not only establish that, but also show it in stages and prove that. So that was also very nice. It certainly lent to the running time of this film.
And I think too, it added to the fact that the military maybe isn't always the bad guy, right? Whether you're Russian or you're American, like, fine, maybe they wanted to weaponize certain things, but they still did a study of things.
Yeah.
And they brought civilians too. We're like, all right, well, maybe we're fucking into too much fucking, October Guard shit. That's the Russian G.I. Joe. Maybe we should bring in some scientists to figure things out. So I liked there was that. It wasn't obvious like make this a fucking weapon like OCP RoboCop shit. They tried to
You down with
study.
OCP?
Yeah, that's funny, John. That's really funny. I like that.
Now, see, I'm going to disagree with you there because this all was 100% about weaponizing, and it was just more about controlling. That was all they were interested in, was control.
And that's why they brought in civilians, though?
Yes.
Well, fair.
That was all it was. They saw the weapon, and they wanted to control it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too far from, maybe it's, I'll change what I said, but they needed somebody smarter to not be all about weapon shit, to bring in some smart shit, to understand, to make it more weapon shit.
To understand how to control it. That was all they were looking for, control. And that is 100% the Soviet Union.
And,
Yeah. At that
Find
time,
or make a weapon and then control it.
At that time, absolutely.
Yeah. Into the 80s, yes. Grasping at straws at that point.
And one other thing I want to add is the creature in this. I won't say too much more than that. I thought the creature looked really cool, and I thought they did a great job of realizing it on screen. It looked fucking awesome to me.
I'll tell you, honestly, I was a little disappointed in it. Ultimately, I thought it was fine, but upon first viewing, I was a little disappointed in it, especially when you see what you got for the post art. I expected it to be quite bigger, but
it's not all about size.
Just keep telling yourself that.
He is Irish,
but ultimately, the overall look of the creature looked really good, especially its quote unquote birthing,
Yeah.
which I thought was very interesting. Certainly takes a couple of cues from other films.
Sure.
Not and not just in sci-fi either, but also in horror. But overall, I thought the creature overall looked really good. I think the CGI aspect of the creature, it could have been worse. It was perfectly fine. I don't think the CGI in this movie was really all that terrible,
No.
considering the budget, considering its location. I think they did a pretty darn fine job with it.
Yeah, and I will say that I think that there was enough sort of callbacks to other sci-fi and horror films, but they definitely did it in a slightly different way, like the birthing scene, the way that the creature looked. It all was like familiar but felt different, so I think they worked that balance just right, where it didn't feel like this thing you had never laid eyes on before, but was different enough that it's like, oh, cool. I don't know that I've seen one that looks just like that. And like you said, MZ, with the birthing scene, I think that it was once again similar but a little different, where it's like, okay, yeah, that like I get what they're doing here, but they kind of took it in a slightly different direction, and that was all like really impressive stuff. Like even just these real kind of slight subversions of your expectation really can go a long way, I think. So I think, I mean, there's more I want to talk about, but I once again, I really would like to keep this movie, kind of a mystery for those who haven't seen it in terms of what happens. I think some of the interesting stuff, I won't say too much more about this, but the relationship with his son, that whole bit I thought was interesting, especially one scene in particular when he talks about deserving what happens to him, I thought that was a really interesting scene and definitely played into a lot of the motivation behind some of the stuff that happens.
Well, he's always proclaiming himself as a big hero. I'm the big hero of the Soviet Union, and
yeah, but he
not
does
not so much patting himself on the back, but just it seems like he's constantly reminding people.
But there are cracks in his armor, so to speak, too.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
But it isn't just him. Other people are also saying that.
Yeah, true.
That he is the Soviet hero. Like, it is ingrained in him that he needs to be this. I'm sure this is part of the training he goes through before he went into space, where they need to be the Soviet hero when they come back.
Right, almost like 83 Russian Steve Rogers. Like, that was, you're the fucking dude. Like, you're the fucking, what I'm saying? Like, I'm having fun with you a little bit, but like...
Yeah, no. I agree with you, yes.
Is to be that. I mean, the line where it's like, I always wanted to be my exploits to be in a museum, but not like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh, shit, that's fucking... I get that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not his fault. And the reason why he was selected over somebody else, I thought was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think this was low budget at all. I think a lot
it didn't
of
feel
shit
that
was
way.
fucking. No, I don't. This was no fucking sci-fi. Fucking. It wasn't like fucking Russia. Fucking. I don't know anyone in Russia. Kremlin sci-fi broadcast.
Well, it was low budget, but they made the best of what they had to work with.
Yeah.
They did a warehouse.
Not one ruble went unspent.
No ruble unturned.
Right.
Oh,
Ages.
shit. So is there anything else? I know this typically produces silence, but I guess the one quick thing I wanted to mention was the ending. Was obviously, without talking about what happened, did you guys feel the ending was satisfactory? Did the ending work for you guys? You can just say like yes, no. We don't have to give too many details.
I was very satisfied.
Yeah.
I was moderately satisfied.
All right, Raven Shadow.
I'm between Aries and MZ on this one.
All right. I mean, personally, I think it was building towards one thing, and then it kind of took another direction, and that's kind of what threw me off a little bit. It was kind of like, you know, without saying too much, it was like, oh, we're going to get this sort of thing, and then no. Like, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, you thought you were going to get that, but you didn't. And so I could see being let down by your expectations about what you thought was going to happen. But I thought that it was a satisfactory ending, and it was a slight surprise, which I always enjoy. You know, I don't want to be able to guess what's going to happen before it happens. So I think all that said, yeah, I think it was a pretty satisfying ending. So if there's nothing else, I guess we will go to the verdict. And if you guys have any final thoughts, you can save for that.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's start with MZ.
Given the setting of this movie, the time it came out in is what I meant to say, and given the overall look of the film, which is bleak and dark, a lot of very dim lighting going on in this movie. To me, for real, no other reason than to set a tone for the film. It was almost like on the idea of, although not reaching this level, this extreme level of like Beyond the Black Rainbow. Mm-hmm. That had a very, very, very late 70s, early 80s centric lighting idea going on there. Here, it's almost the same way, just done with more clear camera work, you know, purposefully done, of course. I thought the performances were really quite good. The score was very good. If anybody paid attention to the score, I thought the score was good.
I agree.
And we agreed about the monster. I think the alien itself was very well rendered as far as the CGI creation goes, and the violence was good. The thing is that this movie is an extremely slow burn film. I mean, this is one of the most extreme slow burn films I've ever seen. This is for the hour and 53-minute running time, we're looking at about maybe an hour and a half of it being a character study on the cosmonaut. It's crazy slow, and you add the fact that you're watching a dubbed film from Russian, no less. Not dubbed, but subbed film from Russian, no less, done during the early 1980s, dimly lit rooms everywhere, basically hopelessness wherever you turn, and extremely talky, very slow burn, lot of talking going on here. It makes you want to fall asleep, and for a second I did, but I didn't miss much. And so I woke up, tried to watch the rest of it, and I did. Now, is this a good thing? Not really. Not really. Look, the last movie I fell asleep at watching the first time around was Paranormal Activity 4. So there's that. The difference between Paranormal Activity 4 and this is that this actually has a decent story. I mean, when you weigh the pros and cons of everything going on, I'm going to say this is a treat, but be prepared. You're going to get some awesome story going on here, but there's a lot of character study going on, and it gets to the point where it becomes repetitive and almost boring, and flat out boring at times. Given given also with the lighting, the time frame, the lighting in this movie, it really makes for a trying movie to watch. But in the end, I think you'll come away satisfied. I came away moderately satisfied, but it was a hell of a lot more than what I thought I was going to get when I was watching this movie. So I'm going to say this movie is a treat.
All right. Well, let's go to Aries.
All right. Oh my God. I'll try to keep this shorter than him. You gotta stop putting a time limit on these reviews here. I'm going to agree and disagree with MZ. This movie definitely is a slow burn, but I don't think it's the slowest burn we've had. I felt they at the right times they brought you right back in. There were certain points where they woke you back up, MZ. This movie, I mean, there's only so much you can talk about with this movie without getting into spoilers. Let me say this right off the bat. This movie is a treat for me. I did definitely enjoy this movie. I will give you my problems with this movie. Subtitles. This movie is why I hate subtitle movies. The subtitles were not on the screen long enough for me. I missed a lot of what was written. I am not the fastest reader in the world. That is, I don't know if it's my problem or the cinema's problem or whatever else, but I missed some of this movie because I couldn't read fast enough. The monster, although I did enjoy it, there were two monsters which 100% I could picture. I'm not going to say those monsters, but one was definitely horror and one was comical. And I almost feel that was intentional with this monster, where you got that feeling of dread and sympathy with this monster. And I felt that was done very well in this movie. The MZ mentioned earlier the size of this monster. I actually enjoyed the size of this monster, where its stature was small, but at times it felt gigantic. There was actually one point in this movie where I thought one thing was happening and was actually changing the monster, and I was 100% wrong. And I loved that. And at that point, I didn't know where this movie was going, and I was all in this movie. So as I said, this movie is a treat. So check this movie out.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta disagree with the fact this was a slow burn. No, man, come on, dude. There's plenty of fucking Korean pictures. I didn't see the witch picture you love so much with the fucking goat. Fucking, come on. We've seen some fucking slow burns, guys. MZ, dude, no, this is not a slow burn. I liked this world. I like the 80s aesthetic. I don't think, and also the government had a job in this, but they weren't the completely a-hole army like we see in like 28 Days Later or other zombie pictures where it goes, okay, the army's the bad guy. I like the colonel. Even some of the guards were all right. And there were even some times where I thought some guards would do some like fucking a-hole guard shit, especially to the very attractive blonde scientist that came in. But that didn't happen. So I'm very much glad that we didn't see some of those tropes. I was involved with the main character. I like the symbiotic relationship. I thought the effects of the monster were good. I thought even some of the CGI blood scenes were done pretty well for what they had to work with. So I'm not going to hate on. If this was a low budget, I don't see it. We've seen plenty of lower budget pictures, but overall I did like this. It reminded me of some other pictures we saw. It wasn't Venom in terms of a symbiote, but I liked kind of where it went. And if you're into what we discussed, please don't watch anything about it. Just don't look at posters. Just find the medium that you're going to watch this in, push play. Because the less you know, I think it's better. But yeah, man, I would say this is a big old communist treat, man.
A big old communist treat. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna. I think I've got treats all around because this is a treat for me. I actually really dug this movie, and I think it takes what, when you read the synopsis, it takes what is sort of a slightly mundane plot synopsis and does some different stuff with it. Like, I was expecting just kind of run-of-the-mill, like, sci-fi horror, but I think it does some stuff exceptionally well. I think the acting was quite good. They use every, as said earlier, no ruble unspent in this movie. They used every single amount of I guess we'll go with rubles instead of dollars, but they use like everything in the budget and it's all seen on screen. The score, as MZ mentioned, I neglected to mention that in my discussion, was phenomenal. I thought the score was really good and really effective. And there's just a lot to like here. I think it's just a really creepy sci-fi horror movie that has some emotional impact and touches on a lot of things. And it's just all the way through, I think it's a gripping story. And I think that they tell a really great narrative and weave it through some slightly unoriginal material, but they make it fresh. Once again, with these very subtle subversions of the creatures. There was something just slightly different about the creature. There was something slightly different about the way the creature, the birthing scene, as MZ said. There was just these very slight little subversions of what you'd expect that made it feel different and, dare I say, original. So yeah, no, I'm going treat on this. I really enjoyed this, and I think a lot of people out there will dig this. As MZ said, I could see this being perceived as being a slow film, but for me, I didn't necessarily think so, because I was, once again, if you're engaged with what's going on screen, then you may not feel that runtime, or you may not feel that sort of slow burn aspect of things. But I didn't at all. I was able to get through this, and I was pretty gripped and engaged throughout. So big time treat for me. So that is going to do it for our discussion of Sputnik. It is available on VOD, put out by IFC Midnight. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead, track it down, and give it a look. Now, next week we have actually a pretty good amount of movies that are coming out in the next several weeks to months. So this was a tough choice to pick which one we're going to do next, but I think the one we will do is a film, once again put out by IFC Midnight, a film called Rent-A-Pal.
Rent-A-PayPal.
Pal.
And it's coming out September 11th, which is tomorrow. So if you guys want to watch this along with us, it'll be out on VOD starting on September 11th. And the synopsis: set in 1990, a lonely bachelor named David searches for an escape from the day-to-day drudgery of caring for his aging mother. While seeking a partner through a video dating service, he discovers a strange VHS tape called Rent-A-Pal. Hosted by the charming and charismatic Andy, played by Will Wheaton, the tape offers him much-needed company, compassion, and friendship. But Andy's friendship comes at a cost, and David desperately struggles to afford the price of admission. So, you like the Will Wheaton, right, Raven Shadow?
He's fine.
He's
Will Wheaton.
Fine?
Shut up, Wesley.
I thought you were a big fan.
No, he's fine. He's big ups to him, but no, man, I'm like kind of like Picard. You know, I'm like a little annoyed with the Will Wheaton.
Why? Why are you annoyed with him?
Well, Picard never really wanted to fucking. Aries can speak to this. Picard was always annoyed by Wesley, right? He definitely wanted to get more into Beverly Crusher, like
So you're talking about his character on the show?
Well, what the fuck? Fine, he's fine in Stand By Me, but who wants him, right? You want to be fucking River Phoenix, right, in that picture? Even though I was built more like Will Wheaton, I don't want to talk about that. But
well, I don't want to be River Phoenix now, unfortunately.
No, but River Phoenix then, up until that fucking final Viper room.
Yeah, no shit.
Probably had some good times. Oh, Aries is pissed.
We're back.
You're back, yeah.
Sorry.
No, Will Wheaton's fine.
This fucking computer. Sorry, my bad.
He's Ravenshaw's running down Will Wheaton.
What about Will Wheaton?
He's running him down.
Running him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated him Next Generation, but anything beyond that, I like him.
Isn't that what I said, John?
Not in as succinct a way.
Well, Aries.
So next week we're gonna do Rent-A-Pal. It will be available September 11th, and check it out. If you guys want to leave us a message, let us know what you think. That would be podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and we hope to hear from you. I always love hearing from you. And speaking of hearing from you, we got some voicemails in the last little bit, so we do have some voicemail to play this evening. Let me get it queued up. I didn't get them queued up yet. So, Raven Shadow, anything else? Any other stories about Will Wheaton you want to discuss?
Not as much Will Wheaton. I am on the last episode of season 1 of Cobra Kai.
Oh, goddamn pal, huh?
Goddamn pal, I fucking love it. It's so good.
Wait till season 2.
Yeah, like.
That's crazy for you to work through a series so quick too, right? Like
it's the right amount of length.
Ooh, that's what she said.
No, they're both seasons are great.
It's great. Johnny is such a dick, but
what?
yet kind of
take it back.
Different Johnny.
No,
Lawrence.
Wrong. LaRusso was a dick.
No, LaRusso. Listen, they both are flawed. I say this, not for nothing. Johnny Lawrence, Wolfie, don't get upset. After everything that happened, it wasn't LaRusso didn't start it. But Lawrence did give the trophy to Daniel at the end.
Yes, he did.
When he did his illegal kick. And to be fair, Daniel just wanted to hook up with the hot chick playing the soccer, but he kind of embarrassed himself in front of the friend. Remember the guy? Like Daniel never had another male friend that wasn't Mr. Miyagi after that beach scene. Like remember the Spanish dude who was like, "Hey, Karate Kid, come to the party," and then like he stepped in front of Johnny, and everyone's like, "Oh, real fucking nice friend, douchebag." Like I don't know, is it because they were all scared of Johnny, or just Daniel's being a douche? Like you got invited here, dog. Why are you gonna fight this dude?
Daniel's being a douche. It's plain and simple.
I think you're actually seeing that in the show where Johnny's new I don't even know the kid that Johnny's training, his friends are just kind of telling him to back away.
Right.
I'm not as far into the show as you are. I think I'm only in episode 3, but they're like pretty much saying like back away, step away. I think that's how LaRusso's friends were in the original movie. Like they just kind of wanted to separate themselves from him. I think they're exploring that more in the TV show because that is how things are playing out in today's society.
There's a very odd juxtaposition between both sides in how they align themselves with.
As I'm seeing it right now, it's not so black and white as the original movie. It's a series of shades of gray, which
yes,
it's more appropriate as far as the struggles with the situations.
100%. I think. I mean, we're all around the same age. Everyone loves Karate Kid, right? 2, I've only seen once theatrically and a couple times on cable. I've only seen bits and pieces of 3, and I never saw the next Karate Kid, and I didn't see the Karate Kid with Will Smith because the fucking Jackie Chan, the trailer is like, I will teach you the true meaning of Kung Fu, but it's called the Karate Kid.
Let me tell you something. I was unfortunate to see that in the theater.
The remake?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, what? Why did you see it?
Because my girlfriend wanted to see it.
That's no excuse.
Believe me, it's a good enough excuse.
Did you get laid when you got home?
I don't remember.
Probably not.
Then you didn't, so it wasn't a good excuse.
Yeah. Well, hey, what do you want from me? All I'm telling you is that I would go see it in the theater. Believe me, I objected to it highly. I did not want to be seen.
Not hard enough.
I did not want to be seen in the theater watching that crap.
But let's take it back to the trailer. Jackie Chan tells Will Smith's son, "I will show you the true meaning of Kung Fu."
Yeah.
Karate Kid. It's not the fucking same sport, dog.
Like, yeah, it's not the Kung Fu Kid.
Make that movie. Although your boy Will Smith is an executive producer, Monster Zero on this picture on the program.
And the funny thing is that at the end of the movie, during the end credits, they show Will Smith. What's his name? Jaden. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Jaden.
I think so. Yeah.
Smith, with the bully kid that he had to beat at the end of the movie, and they had to show him like buddy, so nobody in the audience would feel bad that Will Smith's kid got the shit beat out of him throughout the entire film. It's like, really? I nearly wanted to blow my brains out when I saw that.
Jeez.
You got to show them as friends now because some of his fans might be offended by that. It's like, oh Christ!
Beautiful fans.
Beautiful cinematography, though. I will give it that. The shots. No, listen to me. The shots in the Karate Kid remake, the shots of China. I mean, gorgeous, beautiful. You wouldn't believe it if you saw it.
I don't believe it.
But well,
and I probably never will see it.
I don't blame you. But there was some really nice shots of China.
But at least that I
just throughout the film. But stay away from the movie. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm bedridden, I'll probably check it out if it's on the FX. But
there's 100 movies you should watch before that.
No, fair. But I think
just catch it for an episode of Bomber Radio.
Oh, Coop, Cody called me.
Oh my God, you don't remember your fucking.
I'm doing something.
Co-host's name.
Coop doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna send some private messages too.
No, you're not. Marion's gonna do it for you.
You accidentally send him $100 through PayPal.
Oh shit! I guess I'll put lights on in the studio. Yeah, I can't get fucking crazy with that. But I think if you forget about all of Daniel's other adventures with all his failed relationships, this could still be a sequel to straight up the Karate Kid picture. The first one. And
yeah.
Why can't it be a sequel to the third one?
It could be too.
It kind of is because he does say 2-time champion, and he's not the 2-time champion without the third movie.
That's right.
When 2 grown men try to beat up a high school kid, both from Vietnam, decide, let's fuck with that kid from Reseda. But no, it's a lot of fun. Johnny is a douche, but he's an awesome douche.
You are so misguided.
I'm misguided?
You're misguided, dude. Johnny is doing what he can to bring back Cobra Kai and bring it back with honor this time.
Well, Aries, what to say?
LaRusso's a bigger douche. Johnny is overcoming his improper training.
Yeah.
As this show is progressing.
And Daniel is realizing that he needs to get back to where he's been.
I have not seen any of that yet.
Yeah, Aries is just 3 episodes in.
I'm 3 episodes in.
Remember, he's the one who said when Johnny Lawrence went to LaRusso Auto, he said, "I kicked his face." Yeah, he's saying like, "Hey, you're the guy who he kicked your ass." Well, actually, I kicked his face. I mean, that's such a smarmy, wise ass answer.
Well, MZ, if you had someone that fucking ruined your fucking high school experience, maybe on the other side of it, you might be. Yeah, Daniel is fucking cocky. He's kind of a douche a little bit too. It's. I think it's interesting that both sides are not right or not wrong. I like that as an age, and it's funny that fucking Daniel is older than fucking Johnny in real life.
Daniel is the same age as Pat Morita right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the same age as Pat Morita was in the first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's close to the
He still looks.
6'0".
He still looks 19.
Yeah.
Looks better than
He's got a weird voice, doesn't he?
His voice doesn't fit how he looks.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. But Johnny looks great.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
You know, he looks great.
Well, I can't wait for season 3. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was coming a lot sooner. It was supposed to come out earlier this year because it's already in the can. It's already done. But we're gonna wait till 2021 apparently.
But they got some fucking Netflix money now, so they can fucking do it up.
Yeah, but it's already done. It was done before Netflix got it.
Oh.
I mean, maybe there's some post-production stuff they could do, but it was filmed, so
yeah,
it's been ready to go for a while.
I think Netflix is kind of sitting back right now because they were catching all the, pandemic money where people just panicked to get Netflix to something to do. So now they're going to coast on that and release it when they need some more subscribers.
Yeah, and this way it builds excitement, right? Because if you dumped all 3 seasons out, people would binge it and then be done with it. But this at least, gets some conversation going. Oh, when's the 3rd season coming out? And then, it's coming out in a few months or early next year or whatever it is. And so they can kind of prolong that hype, which is smart because it's currently, at least as of a few days ago, was the #1 show in America, most watched show in America, which I don't know how they track that with streaming data, but still, I mean, that's awesome. It's great because it means it's hopefully going to stick around because, I dug it when it was on, and I was telling you guys about it when it was on YouTube, but I know it wasn't as readily available. But now I'm just glad people are getting a chance to see it because it's a really great show.
Now, when you say that it was the most streamed show in America, like throughout all streaming services or just Netflix? Because I know they track what's popular for them.
Well, the article I read, I think, said it was based on data. I mean, once again, it's there's no way to really tell. It's not like the Nielsen ratings.
Right.
So I don't know exactly how, I don't know if Netflix made that claim. I'm not sure how they get that, but yeah, but
it wasn't that wasn't coming from Netflix. That was another news source making that statement based on
let me see
numbers they were given.
I'm actually relooking it up just because I want to make sure. I think it's the #1 show on I think it might be the #1 show on Netflix actually.
Not that it matters that much because it is a good show and everyone should check it out. If you don't have Netflix, get Netflix. Maybe we should get a little money from Netflix for promoting them. Hint, hint.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is the most popular series on Netflix. The first 2 seasons of the hit show debuted, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I guess previously Lucifer was the top show, which seems crazy that was the top show on Netflix, but...
Well, they just released new episodes of that recently.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. I thought they just...
Yeah, they picked that up in new episodes of that.
Oh, okay.
Which that's a decent show. I've been checking that out here and there. I haven't made it into their episodes yet. I'm still on the network episodes.
I would love to see William Zabka get his redemption like he is in Cobra Kai in Back to School and Just One of the Guys. 2 of the movies where he was a bully.
Redemption in all the movies he was on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He's a tulip. That's why.
Yeah, I mean he's awesome. I mean I love William Zabka, and he's great in the role as well. I mean he's
The quintessential '80s heel.
yeah, definitely the quintessential '80s heel for sure.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
the teacher in Breakfast Club, or the guy from the fucking I Want to Rock video. Like it was certain dudes who were
Oh,
like
that dude. Yeah.
A twisted sister pin.
On
Your
your
life.
uniform.
Uniform.
What do you want to do with your life?
It's a, One Crazy Summer. He was the
Yeah,
dad, right?
he was, yeah.
Yep. Well, he
Yeah.
was also in Animal House.
Yes, that's right.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? I got to find out now. It's going to drive me crazy.
I forget his name.
Twisted Sister.
Well, his character from the video, Twisted Sister, was from Animal House.
Yeah.
That's what that was based on.
I Want to Rock.
Oh man, what? I'm not sure what his. I'm looking at.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's bugging me because I think I knew his name,
Yeah.
but okay, MZ will look it up, and we do have some voice messages to get to, so let's do that. We got a couple short ones. I'll play those ones first. So let's first check in Australia with our boy Tim from Melbourne.
Unbelievable. Tim from Melbourne here. Yeah, we're still in lockdown, so we're getting ads for all the movies, but they run up from Sydney, so everything's closed in Melbourne. So, it's still a few weeks off from seeing anything like Tenet or Bill and Ted. I had a look at the list of movies on Shudder. It's a bit disappointing considering all the Australian ones you could see. Maybe have a look at the Umbrella streaming service or Monster Pictures, because Monster, I know, is a horror-themed company. All right, thanks.
All right, Tim from Melbourne. So obviously still in lockdown there in Australia. So always good to hear from Tim. So appreciate you checking in there, bud.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, why don't we check in with Marion? I think Marion has some feedback on our latest Patreon episode.
What are you going to do?
Hey guys, it's Marion, and I'm commenting on Biggest Badass Villain Patreon episode. No Predator in your Biggest Badass movie marathon. I was a little surprised. Also, I know that the villainous roles are typically not great and not numerous, but I think we could have thought of some more female characters. Like the girl from The Ring is pretty formidable and supernatural and killing machine, and also Carrie White from Carrie. She's a sympathetic character, but she killed a lot of innocent people. And, telekinesis is pretty badass. So that's just my thoughts. I hope you guys have a good night. And, okay, bye.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess we were missing out on some villains. There you go. I'm glad to get the feedback, because we did mention Dutch in the hero one, and no one mentioned Predator in the villain one. Yes, Raven Shadow.
Well, I wouldn't put Predator as a villain. What he was doing was done out of sport. So
it's done out of love.
Well, a sport hunter could be considered a villain.
So
depends on your perspective, from a different point of view, right, Raven Shadow?
And as far as Carrie goes, I would say Predator is more of a villain than Carrie was. Carrie was the ultimate victim. And as far as those people being innocent is concerned, there is no way you could call those people innocent.
True.
Well, they might not have been innocent, but they deserved what they got.
Yes.
No.
Here's the thing about the Predator. I love that fucking picture. I love the Predator. Out of the, let's say, the next era of slashers, if it's Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, if it's Predator, Alien, and Terminator, is that next tier up or a different tier? I fucking love Predator and 2. But when you get Predators who've been defeated by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny Glover, eventually fucking Batman beats the Predator, fucking who's the dude that was in, well, because fucking he was in the movie with the nose.
With the nose. Okay, great.
The movie with the nose.
Yeah, Jacket. He was
Jacket.
Superman Bob with Ben Affleck. Fucking
what the fuck? The movie with the nose.
You're rambling.
Okay, get to your point.
The guy with the basically, I think that Predators get dispatched easily as we see them more and more often. Just
okay,
like
well, okay.
Xenomorphs.
Name a villain that was dispatched by an elite special forces killer.
Wait, what?
Name a villain that was dispatched by some elite special forces killer.
I don't know what you just said, but I think we're saying the same thing.
No, we're not.
We're
not, because every Jason movie, he gets killed by a teenager. Every Freddy movie, he gets killed by a teenager. There is no elite killer taking out the world's greatest villains.
But no. But Jason and Freddy always come back. But there are multiple.
So do the Predator.
But it's not like Phil Predator, who's the only Predator.
Okay, because the same Predator doesn't come back, it somehow makes it worse.
Predator, or Pope Predator.
So because the Predator's immortal, it makes it worse.
No, it doesn't make it worse. But I don't.
That's what you're saying.
No.
The Predator got killed by an Army Ranger and an LAPD. Yeah, Jason gets taken out by a teenager every episode, every movie.
Jason wins every fucking movie.
He dies every movie. The same as the Predator.
Johnny,
don't look to me. This is your battle.
But no, I don't think as dope as the Xenomorphs and Predators are, I don't think they belong in the Legion of Doom. They're foot soldiers.
Why? Because in the first Predator, he got taken out by Arnold Schwarzenegger as some sort of military elite. I don't remember what, Army Ranger, Navy SEAL, whatever. The second one, it was an LAPD officer. Jason, and the movie 2, in the second Jason, in the Friday the 13th, got taken out by a teenager. Freddy Krueger, in the first Friday the 13th, got taken out by a teenager.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger in the first Friday the 13th.
And why did Jason win every one of our fucking, horror slasher offs? Our fucking, what's the basketball, the fucking March Madness tournaments? It always comes down to Jason being the immortal zombie or whatever the fuck with the machete. No, I'm with you, Aries. I love Predator. I love aliens, but they are foot soldiers. They're on the team. They're not. They may have representative, but
you were disrespecting them because they got taken out, but because they couldn't come back to life, because they weren't a video game character that someone just went continue.
So fine, here's the movie: Jason versus a Predator. Who wins?
Well, in the first movie, the Predator.
Stop.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, get excited.
Hold on, guys. No, because listen, I don't know. I might have to side with Raven Shadow on this. Only
Jesus!
because,
Christ! No, spit it out. Don't.
I'll spit it out because Jason and Freddy, will use those two as the example. They are of themselves. There is no other Jason. There is no other Freddy. There is just Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. There's no Jason Voorhees 2, Jason Voorhees 3, etc. The aliens and the predators are an army. Alien is a predator. When the alien in the first Alien was dispatched, you never saw that one again. In Aliens, the Queen, you never saw her again after she was dispatched. Same thing with Predators. Predators are an army. They're individuals. The first Predator dispatched himself. The second Predator had an army of Predators with him. So I can understand why they could be seen as foot soldiers because they are an army. The generals would be Freddy and Jason because they are just one character of themselves that keep coming back.
Keep coming back from the dead, which is no different than just reintroducing another character.
It still doesn't change the fact that they come back.
They were killed and come back. I don't understand the difference between killing and coming back or just reintroducing another character. Because every time they come back, they are different. They are essentially a new character.
But they still carry the Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees
name
and appearance.
The name. That is it. The name.
Appearance.
No, don't say appearance. These motherfuckers change movie to movie.
Oh, come on. Appearance. Slightly different, but no, I mean, I think I do agree with what I said and what Monster Zero supports.
I agree with what I said.
You agree with what you said?
Oh
my motherfucking God.
Raven Shadow, I'm jumping off your bandwagon right now.
Hold on. Grab my hips, MZ. We're going somewhere. Stay with me, brother.
I agree with what I said.
Well, you and I are going horseback once this fucking pandemic ends.
Horseback? Brokeback Mountain? Is that what you guys doing?
Yeah.
Brokeback horseback?
Let's go horseback riding together.
Brokeback bareback?
Let's do Young Guns 3. Let's do Old Guns 4. Let's do that. But no. Now, I think you want to do the Ring. If you're going to bring the Ring into it, you're going to bring Jason Voorhees. But I think Carrie would be dope, and I think on a next list, because I do, as much as I love speedsters, and you know this, I love speedsters, archers, and telekinetics. I think Carrie would be apropos on the next level of villain.
Carrie falls into a different category, where on the surface she is the villain of the movie, but when you really get into it, she isn't the villain; she's the victim.
She is the ultimate victim.
Oh, she is,
and a lot of movie villains fall into that, where that is a whole sub list, and Carrie would be number one with that list.
So Marion says, "I'm so happy the God of War is arguing my case." And she says, "Aries, you got to do the next Monsterpiece Theater." And
you know what? I try. You know what? This past thing, I tried my damnedest to make sure I was available. I got everything I had to get done. I was home. I was all ready to do it, and then I realized I didn't make time to watch the fucking movie.
Oh, you probably could have watched it while doing it. It's so short.
You know what? It was like 45 minutes before it, and I went, fuck it, and watch the movie. I thought about trying to watch it and fast forward or something. But I was like, no, screw it.
We probably didn't actually start because we just kind of shot the shit and gave people a few minutes to get in. So we probably you probably could have done it.
So I probably could have squeezed it in. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, motherfucker, I forgot to watch the movie.
Marion also says, I totally don't understand MZ and Raven Shadow are saying it all. She said, I don't get what you dorks are arguing about. I'm enjoying this so much.
We had that conversation yesterday.
Oh, in private?
I want to talk about it.
I think she just likes me yelling at you.
Yeah, I think she does.
That is entertaining.
I'm yelling at you too, so.
No, you're not.
You asshole.
All right, well, let's see if Carlitos is going to yell at us in his voice message.
Carlito.
All right, so let's hear from Carlitos.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. How you guys doing? Wanted to call, give you some quick movie reviews of some recent movies that you guys reviewed and are associated with. So, first one, tonight's film, Sputnik. When I first heard of this movie, I was actually quite excited because I'm a big fan of sci-fi horror. And when it was time to come rent this, it wasn't quite what I thought it'd be, but I was still appreciated the what it actually was. It wasn't alien creature run amok, but more of just kind of a more deliberately paced, more atmospheric, more performance-driven type of film. You still got some alien action, but it wasn't like Aliens or anything like that. But yeah, I thought it was really good. It looked great. It was cinematography was good, and the performance were, like I said, were actually great. So this is definitely a treat. The next movie was last week's movie, Random Acts of Violence. When I first watched this movie, I probably leaned towards treat. It was kind of on the fence of how I felt about it, but I was leaning towards treat. But then after I listened to you guys, I think my sentiments are much more on par with how Aries felt about the film. And I also get what MZ was saying about the lead character's performance. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he's with his eyes bugging out and stuff like that. There was also a scene that was kind of awkward to me when he was talking to the artist lady, I guess Barachill's girlfriend, maybe. I'm not quite sure. It was never really clear what if they were a couple or not. But it just kind of, their interaction just kind of seemed flat and awkward, and that kind of stood out to me. So I'm just gonna give this one a trick. Not very good. Some good violence, and I did like how it was shot in the night scenes. It's those were definitely highlights, but otherwise this is a trick. And finally, I did get around to watch not Morbid Vision, Morbid Tales. And
nice.
Truth be told, I didn't like it as much as Fetus, but it was still enjoyable for much of the same reasons I enjoyed Fetus. I guess the biggest knock I could say about the film is the film quality of the three stories. But at the same time, I do enjoy those type of things. It also kind of gives the movie some character. Just, it's kind of making it its own thing. But still, the effects were still great. Even back then, Brian Pond seems he had a real good talent for effects work. So, and that shows the creature at the very end of the movie. The one with MZ in the scene, very impressive.
Yeah,
very impressive. I actually like that monster. Yeah, I also like that black metal song at the end credits. If anybody knows who that was, let me know. It said Brian Pollan did all the music, but I'd be more impressed if he did that song. But anyway, that's it, guys. And yeah, and had fun last Saturday. That was great. It was a blast. I did flush a toilet. I wasn't going to the bathroom. I was just flushing it. So hopefully that didn't come through. So I was like, oh crap. But anyway, not in that way. But you know what I mean. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey.
All right, Carlitos. Thanks, man. And yeah, it was awesome having you join us for the Monster Piece.
Yeah.
And also great to hear your thoughts on those films. We heard obviously Sputnik, Random Acts of Violence, Morbid Tales, and so I believe, MZ, and maybe you, I don't know if you know for sure, but was that song that he's referring to, was that Brian? Do you know if Brian wrote that song?
Brian does play the guitar. He does have his own death metal band.
Yeah, it's called Syoth.
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 Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't know one death metal song from another, so I'm going to go with the theory that his music is in this movie.
Yeah, my guess is it would be as well. Maybe that's something we can ask Brian next. I'm sure we'll have him on again sometime.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that we'll try to remember to ask. But yeah, I would not be. I would be very surprised if that was not Brian's band Psyoth. So,
Yeah.
and it's, as far as I know, it's a one man project. I think he does everything, right? Plays
I
drums, guitar,
think
bass. So
he does have them in his house. I know that. Now, as far as the film quality goes with the 3 stories, he's absolutely right. It's a lot of it's hard to see because of the quality of the films. I think they're ripped straight out of VHS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it does suffer a little bit from noise drops, bleeding, color bleeding, static lines, things like that. And it does give the film a little bit of character. At the same time, it is a little difficult to see what's going on with these short stories. But still, it's, I think the wraparound story kind of, well, for lack of a better term, wraps it up nice. The stories are interesting. It's hard to hear, but if you pay attention really close, you can make out what's going on. I watched it a couple times now, and I got a fairly decent idea as to what's going on. Not 100%, but it's a little bit more. I think if I watch a little bit more, watch it more times, I should be able to piece it all together. Or I could just ask Brian.
There you go. It's probably easiest.
Yeah.
All right, so we appreciate you calling in, Carlitos, and also Marion and Tim. Always love hearing from you guys. And, well, I think that's it. You guys have anything else to add before we wrap up the show? Didn't think so. So, once again, if you guys want to participate, send us a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And let's go around the room and say goodbye, starting with MZ.
Hey, arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Farewell.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
When this whole thing's over, you going to change your catchphrase back?
Yeah, it's going back. Yeah, to die with your mask on.
Jeez, that's fucking morbid, man. I don't know if we can go back. I don't know if we can go back from this. There's no coming back, man. There's no going back.
Yeah. There's no going back. It's only forward.
Yes.
Then why ask fucking questions?
Because I wanted to know what you were going to answer.
Well, I'm telling you, I was thinking about that. I was in the car.
He was letting you say the wrong answer so we could all correct you.
No. I was
That's not normally how it goes. So just.
I was by the Burger King on fucking Grafton Street.
By the Burger King. Yeah,
I'm like,
Triple HBK.
Triple HBK. Yeah, they're like not. I mean, we should definitely have like a Hunter Hearst Helmsley fucking criteria on the page. But they're so bad now. They fucking serve fucking. It's not good.
Go to Moe's, man.
That confuses me. I don't understand. I need you with me.
You need me with you to order a burrito.
Yeah,
or a quesadilla.
It's like fucking alchemy and black magic and fucking sorcery.
I'd be willing to bet they'd work with you. If you walked into any place like that and you want burrito, they go, "What do you want in it?" And you want meat. Well, what kind of meat?
That's it, Rave
they'll help you through it.
Rave Chat,
Yeah,
what's in
baby steps.
What's in a quesadilla? What do you like in your quesadilla?
Depends. I like chicken, cheese, and black olives.
There you go.
You just tell them that. Quesadilla, cheese, chicken, black olives.
You just ordered.
You just ordered a quesadilla.
You just ordered a quesadilla.
But that's in my fridge, so I need to go to food places with like you and Marion and be like, what do I like here?
You need to go to a Mexican place because you can't walk into an Italian place and try to order a quesadilla. And just say quesadilla, cheese, chicken, black olives, and they'll give that to you.
Yeah.
Why does the most simple, mundane things in your life have to be taken with like a quesadillas for dummies book? I mean, what is wrong with you? How do you function?
Because there's so many fucking compartments they got, and they got the fucking splash guard, and they got nothing for things.
That is irrelevant to you. You ask for what you want, they will put it in what you want, and you leave.
Yeah.
Preferably paying, otherwise you get tackled at the door.
Yeah. to get paid, but I don't know, man. That used to be Big Fids. I would get the hot dog over there. I don't understand it. I don't know.
Raven Chow, you walk in, you go stand in line where it says order here. You wait in line, you wait your turn. They say, "Hey, welcome to Moe's," and then they ask you what you want. What would you like? What can I get you? What can I make for you? And you say, "I want a quesadilla, and I want chicken, cheese, and black olives."
Oh.
And then they fucking make it. It's fucking magic. You say it, and then it appears.
Yeah.
And then
if you want tomatoes in it, you can have it with tomatoes.
You want
if you
salsa?
Want.
Yeah. And then you pay for it, and it's yours. You own that quesadilla.
Yeah. And now you can't use PayPal for this, okay?
Don't use
Just to
PayPal.
let you know.
Cash money. You cash money, dog. I don't like. I was feeling guilty over the Jim Smith thing, so I got that deal T-shirt. I was sweating that fucking purchase. They're like, "Do you confirm the fucking purchase?" I think I did.
We were wrapping. We were wrapping up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Check out Teal.
Go to
Johnny. This is your fault. Johnny, it's your fault. You had to ask.
Go order a quesadilla tomorrow, Raven Shadow. Please, whatever you do, go order a quesadilla. Okay, I want to know how it goes.
Video it.
Talk about it on the blackout tapes tomorrow night.
Yeah. I got confused.
You could ride dirty at 11:30, Raven Shadow, and talk about it.
Ride dirty at 11:30. Hang out with your boy.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Trick or Treat Radio. We appreciate everyone tuning in live. We appreciate everybody who sent in voice messages. And then for everyone who's going to check this out on the podcast, we appreciate you, especially those Patreons. We love you. We don't just appreciate you. We love you. And next week, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing the film Rent-A-Pal. So if you guys want to play along at home, check it out. And get back to us. Let us know what you think. Send a voice message. And I don't know. It's September. It's getting close to fall. So everyone stay safe out there. All right. See you.